You type "break a leg" into a translation app before messaging a friend in Madrid, and for one horrible second, you wonder if it's about to tell her to go injure herself. It doesn't. It somehow knows you mean good luck. But how? A computer doesn't know what luck is, or legs, or theater superstitions. So how does the AI behind Google Translate, or the live captions on your video calls, actually turn one language into another, without just swapping words one for one? Here's the trap. Languages don't line up word for word. Word order flips. English says "the big red house," but plenty of languages say the equivalent of "the house big red." Idioms like "break a leg" mean nothing literally translated, and plenty of words are ambiguous. Bank could be where you keep money or where a river ends, and only the sentence around it tells you which. Even a simple word like "you" gets complicated. Spanish alone has different forms depending on how formal you're being. A simple dictionary swap breaks on all of this. Early translation tools tried exactly that, and the results were famously, hilariously bad. Quick quiz. Pause and answer before I tell you. So here's where we're headed. How AI translation went from clumsy word swapping to actually reading a sentence for what it means, to picking the right words in a totally different language, idioms, ambiguity, and all. The first machine translators, decades ago, worked like a phrasebook on autopilot. Look up each word, print the equivalent, done. It's the same reason a word-for-word swap of "break a leg" comes out as something about fractures. The system had no idea it was looking at an idiom because it wasn't looking at the sentence, just isolated words. Feed it. It's raining cats and dogs, and you'd get a sentence about actual falling animals. Think of it like a tourist with only a pocket dictionary, translating one word at a time with no sense of the sentence around it, technically following the rules, but missing the point almost every time. Modern AI translators, neural machine translation, do something very different. Instead of swapping words, the model first reads the whole sentence and compresses it into a kind of meaning, a mathematical summary of what's being said, independent of the language it's in. "I'm hungry" in English and the equivalent phrase in Japanese, which literally translates back as "my stomach has become empty," end up close together in that meaning space, even though the two sentences don't share a single word. It's like a skilled interpreter who doesn't translate your words. They listen to what you mean, hold that meaning in their head, then re-say it naturally in the other language. The words might change completely. The meaning doesn't. But how does it know which meaning of "bank" you're using, or which word to pick when a sentence gets long and tangled? This is where attention comes in. The part of the model that, for every word it's about to write, glances back across the entire original sentence and weighs which parts matter most right now. See "river" earlier in the sentence, and attention leans hard toward the riverbank meaning. See "account" or "loan," and it swings the other way, all before it commits to a single word in the new language. It's like reading a mystery novel, and right before the big reveal, your brain automatically flips back to that one clue from chapter 2. The model does that for every single word it produces, constantly rechecking context instead of translating blind. That's also why it still isn't perfect. Poetry, dark humor, wordplay, and deep cultural references can lose something no matter how good the attention is. It's reading meaning, not reading minds. All right, one more. Quick quiz. Pause and answer before I tell you. Here's what that means for you. Next time a translation app nails an idiom or gets a joke almost right, that's not luck. It's a model that reads your whole sentence for meaning before saying a word. And when it gets something wrong, usually humor, slang, or deep cultural context, that's the honest edge of what meaning, not words, can do. Formality is a good example. The model has to guess how polite you want to sound in a language that has multiple ways of saying "you," and it doesn't always guess right. So use it with confidence for everyday conversations, travel, and messages. And maybe double check before you tattoo a translated phrase on your arm. Translation means the AI has to actually understand meaning, not just words. Next time, we're pointing that same "how much does AI actually understand?" question at something a lot closer to home: your job. Is AI really coming for it? Or is that fear bigger than the reality? We're busting the myths next episode. See you then.